Hi guys, welcome to the video. This video is going to be a quick, cold and dirty startup of the F-14. It does not, I repeat, it does not follow these nice little checklists. These checklists you can tick your way through, they do work, they're fine. A couple of little things apparently about them. When you get to this stage, right instrument check, apparently you just have to rock the throttle forwards and backwards and it does go through it. Payload, by the way, you can either set it up for, well, controls, you can set it for cold and dark every time you boot the aircraft, which this one is. Or you can choose to change the state as you're currently in the sim to cold and dark or ready to taxi. But not going to mess around with those. And finally you've got a controls page. So that's all good. Right, before we go any further, there's a ladder on the side of this thing. It's not hydraulic, it's not electronic, it's folded up by a person who stuffs it in that hole there. It is actually controlled by the wing fold binding, and there's quite a few controls on this are controlled by, for example, the wing fold bindings or the water rudder or whatever. Obviously doesn't have a water rudder, but it's something that's available for Aerosoft, as they have done, to map controls. Now I found that the wing fold was not mapped on my F-14 in my FSX, so I don't know if that was down to me changing the controls from default or whatever. And it was the same in P3D, so I suspect it might be because there is no default button for wing fold. So what I did was I put one on my joystick. I have the Thrustmaster Warthog, by the way, and I've started sticking lots of buttons on it with consistency across all the aircraft so I can use them. So there we go. Jump back in the cockpit, we will close the canopy, try and get the noise down. This little button down here, by the way, nice neat trick, gets rid of the joystick. Okay. I tend to work left to right around the cockpit, and I will talk you through as I go. First thing, oxygen on. It does model hypoxia. Don't turn that switch on. Get above 10,000 feet, you'll find it goes all blurry, your vision goes red, your head lolls around, and you will potentially stall, crash and die in a big horrible mess. At the moment, AFCS stab org is not needed. There's no engines running. Working around, air starts off, cranks centre, those are both to stowed, throttles are in their idle detents, wing is currently in the stowed position, radios on. Gear handles down, parking brakes on, nose wheel is off, brakes and, flaps and speed brake are indicators are fine. Nozzle inlet gauges, notice the right one is more open than the left. Oil temperature gauge is fine, all pressure gauges are fine. No hydraulics at the moment. Three main engine instruments, RPM, TIT, which is turbine, inlet temperature and fuel flow. Fuel is fine, oxygen quantity is fine, hook is up. Don't worry about all these, we're not doing these for an engine start. We will use these three, however, to turn the instruments on. Anything with a flap, make sure the flap is closed. I hate it when you have to do that. Because what happens is when the switch is in an abnormal position, as soon as you close the flap, it puts the switch into the normal position. So useful for emergencies. Carrot salad, nothing untoward there. Master generator switches are off. Lights can go on. Air sources for the air systems are currently off. Don't worry about these switches, they're pretty much automatic. And just be cautious of your two hydraulic transfer pumps. Not going to close those until we've actually got some engines started, which we will do now. Air start switch goes to on. Beware, it is not for starting the engines in the air. It's basically the mechanism by which you're starting the engines on the ground. Right, RPM rises. Just knock that off my feet. It's supposed to be 16%. I tend to wait till it gets to about 20%. Right click, introduce fuel. If the RPM goes up first, it's a good start. If the TIT goes up first, it's a bad start. As a result of that, you need to shut the fuel off quickly, because otherwise you're going to have an overheat, over-temper engine fire. It does model engine fires, guys. So that all looks good and stable. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the doors to auto, crank the left-hand engine this time, wait for it to get to 16%. As I say, I wait for it to get to 20 because this gauge, particularly with parallax error, isn't too accurate. Looks good to me, so let's introduce some fuel there. As I say, RPM's up first, TIT is not. And you can see we've got some hydraulic pressure coming on, so because we've got that, let's turn the SAS on, stability augmentation systems, make sure both of those are to auto. Next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that our wings go into auto. That will bring them forwards, as you can see, nice, happy. Now we need to do our control checks. So you'll see these are differential because it's differential tail that works this. We will quickly pop outside and I will show you what I mean. Roll, differential, elevators, simultaneous. Job's a good one. So split needles, single needle. Job's a good one. Nose wheel steering needs to be on for the next bit. Rudder, full left, full right and centres. Okay, so we're happy with all of that. Nose strut is off, gear is down, checking the flaps now, first stage down. This arc and slats can be used for manoeuvring, that's then your landing position, back up, speed brake in, speed brake out, speed brake back in again. Hydraulics and oil pressures are fine, nozzles are indicating the same, these are all good, T's and P's are all good, fuel is fine, oxygen quantity is fine, hook is up, don't worry about these, turn these three on for your displays. Don't worry about those yet. Guard is down and closed. With this in mind, I've got a few warnings. We're going to have left generator, right generator. We've the air supply to go to both. I'm going to put the anti-icing on auto. I'm going to close that guard. You'll find it close that guard. And guys, that's us good to go. The only thing I did do there is the spoilers don't work till you've got electrical power to them with the left and right generators, so now you will see that the spoilers work as well as just the hydraulics there. Cancel the master caution, job's a good one. At that point we're ready to go flying. The last thing I'm going to do is just check the oxygen, it's caught me out more than once. If you have the hypoxia, what happens is you will go roaring up to 10,000 feet, your head starts to loll around all over the place. It becomes an awful nightmare with that because you can't control your head accurately. You will then lose control, you get a horrible red out sensation and it all goes all pear-shaped at that point. So yeah, guys, that single switch has caused me a couple of headaches when I've tried to figure out what on earth is going on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please don't forget to tick like, share or subscribe whilst we go ballistic. Obviously it helps me with the growth of the channel both in terms of having people support me and the likes. I mean, this is default FSX Steam admittedly, but look at that. Helps me out with the channel in terms of knowing what people don't want in terms of material on the channel. Obviously it also helps me out with spreading the word about the channel. So as I say, please don't forget to tick like, share or subscribe, or likewise if you want to make a comment in the video you can leave one below. And I shall see you soon as we pass 20,000 feet in the space of about 2 minutes. Take care guys.